Shh. Be very, very quiet.
Hey there guys, Conceptual Concept 6.9 here in the beautiful Pacific Northwest. Today I really wanted to go over a pretty niche option for prepared citizens. So it would be a 22 long rifle suppressed pistol. This is a Ruger Mark IV and it's a silencer shop exclusive. So it actually has a 3-inch barrel. What's really cool about that is all 22 long rifle is subsonic ammunition through this. So you don't have to be as picky as, let's say, a 9mm or various other calibers, or even a longer barreled 22 when selecting ammo for the shush puppy kind of deals. Now, why might you want this over something like a Beretta 21A or a super small 22 long rifle pistol that you can suppress? Now, noted this has a super short barrel as well, will make all ammunition subsonic, but it has really, really rudimentary sights, really hard to shoot accurately, which is where this guy really comes into play. So we're gonna go over some reasons to own something like this. I also do want to note that I am aligning a lot of my reasons for owning one of these with. I'm going to go ahead and annotate his video somewhere up here. I think it's here, but I'm going to go ahead and annotate his video on this exact same pistol with a slightly different setup. He does a really good job of explaining it as well. So go ahead and give him a shout out. Go ahead and look him up. So as a prepared citizen, I wanted to go over some utility for this because I really think it has a place in most people's, equipment. Now, personally, I don't look at this so much as a defensive pistol. Now, it can be pushed into that role. Really important to remember, the Israelis, their air marshals have been using Beretta 71s and 22 long rifle, and there are stories of them taking some pretty impressive shots and taking out some pretty well-armed terrorists with the 22 long rifle. So don't discount it, but it's not my first choice, and I don't think it should be yours either. So let's go over reason number one, which would be, in my opinion, really being able to acquire food. So depending on the scenario you're in, you might need to acquire a rabbit or a grouse or something along those lines, and you might not want everyone to hear you for a mile plus shooting a regular rifle. So this guy right here, being subsonic, super quiet, super handy, you can definitely take those small game animals. In fact, I've seen people shoot deer with these. Not recommended. You can do it though. But it really fits that niche well. It doesn't give away your location, and that's really going to be one of the main talking points in terms of these pistols versus others. So another reason you might want to have this is 22 is incredibly available. It's incredibly light. You can carry about 500 rounds of 22 for the cost of about 3 to 4 AR magazines. So you can carry a lot of ammo to do what you want with it. Even just a little brick of 50 rounds is so light, it doesn't add much to your pack. So you're able to carry extra ammunition. Also, 22 long rifle is much less threatening to a lot of different sources and much more widely available from multiple countries. So there's a reason the Israelis back after Munich, they really like the Beretta 71. And they did some spicy things with it, and it's because they were able to locate 22 long rifle ammo just about everywhere. So take it for what you will. That might be beneficial as well. Another thing I'd like to note is if you have kids and you're teaching them how to shoot, there is nothing less intimidating to them shooting wise than shooting a suppressed 22. So it is ridiculously easy to shoot. It is ridiculously quiet. We had a jam there. I really need to clean this gun, but very unintimidating for your children, very easy to teach them on. So let's move into some more spicy reasons as to why you might want this in your equipment and shit hit the fan. Mono e mono, like versus other people, this is incredibly good for sentry removal. These things sound about like a stapler, ridiculously quiet, super easy to shoot. So definitely fits that niche well. That's where I think the Mark IVs and like the Browning Buckmarks and various other target pistols really excel over something like this, because shooting this at a moderate range, trying to take a headshot, is borderline impossible. So I'm not a huge fan of the idea of doing something super duper compact, but this guy will definitely fill that niche pretty dang well. Another reason might be dogs. So you might want to take out a dog that might be able to locate you a little easier without sight using smell. So this really fits in with that Sentry as well. I'm going to let you use your imagination for various other reasons. You might want a super quiet pistol as well. So also mentioned in his video, which I completely agree as well, is these guys really excel for taking out street lights, stuff like that. If you want to be relatively quiet and you're running nods and you might not want to be out in the light where naked eyes can see you, this guy is capable of taking those out no problem. So definitely an option there as well. So another thing you can do that's pretty neat to reduce the action noise and make the gun even quieter is you can put your thumb on the back of the action and the action doesn't move. So when you just eject the round, you're good to go. Very quiet. Sounds about as loud as a stapler. So very cool system. Now, where does this fit in my personal kit? I'll go over it in my bag video in a little more depth. However, I really like the idea of having a suppressed 22 pistol or a suppressed pistol in general in my assault pack. I'm not planning on pistol fighting. I'd rather on my immediate assault gear, my chest rig and stuff, carry an extra magazine or two over a handgun. However, there will be times, depending on the scenario, you might not want to go into town fully kitted up. And so I like to have spare, just normal clothing in there as well. And I have a little holster for this, and I am able to remove the silencer. I can conceal this pretty well. Why I like this as a concealed going into town during shit hit the fan gun is it's not going to draw attention to you. Depending on the scenario, you might having an opposing force or a rival group that doesn't really like you very much and wants you dead. And the worst thing you can do is get into a really loud gunfight in town where they have multiple forces, they have groups, etc., where they can really get in on your location. So where this is really shines to me in terms of my kit is all the aforementioned spicy bits and the hunting bit, as well as in my pack for when I go into town if there's hostile territory. If I have to go in and look like your average Joe, I'm probably going to be carrying this. And that's because, let's be real, you even carrying a Glock 19, you're probably not walking out of that regardless. So you don't want to be in a gunfight where you make a bunch of noise. Ideally, again, kind of like the Sentry removal, you want to be able to take out that threat before anything happens to you. Almost would be better just not to carry any guns in a lot of ways, just because you're not going to win that firefight. I'm sorry, you're just not. It's very unlikely you're walking away. So that's really where I feel that these pistols have a niche. Does it suit your needs? Do you think it's practical? I could be a dumbass for thinking this. So let me know in the comments down below your thoughts, whether you have one of these, whether you think they serve a practical purpose other than just a fun gun. And past that, don't forget to go outside, touch grass, and eat ass, all right, guys?